We are back in the principal's office, this time with Glenda Soto, the principal of the Argenziano School at Lincoln Park. Hello, Glenda.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me.
We are recording this a few days before Christmas, and I'm sure you and everyone at the Argenziano School is looking forward to a well-deserved break. You've been
Absolutely.
busy. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, we're all ready for it.
Oh, yeah. This school year obviously has been a little different, to say the least, from any other school year that's come before. Since it started remotely, what actions have been put in place for the Argenziano that every student is ready technologically, emotionally? Because for the audience who doesn't know, the Argenziano is K through 8. So it's a huge difference in ages from kindergarten through 8th grade. That's a big difference. So how did you set it up remotely? We can go back in time now to September or even the summer.
All right. So our school is pre-K to 8th. So we do have a pre-kindergarten classroom in our building. And it was kind of like in a two-step process that started over the summertime. So while early in the month of September, our teachers engage in professional development, the school administration team, along with the parent liaison, the support staff, the secretary, we engage with connecting with families before school officially started. And we began identifying needs of devices, internet connectivity. I think at the Argenziano, we're pretty lucky that our administrative team is multilingual. So we are able to make connections with the families ourselves. 3 of us speak Spanish, 2 of us speak Portuguese. So that was crucial for us to be able to communicate directly with our families. Later on after that, the teachers put together a list of supplies that they thought the students were going to need. So, that went from pencils, crayons, notebooks to workbooks. And we prepared and distributed around 600 backpacks, 400 Chromebooks, and provided internet and connectivity as it was needed. Our assistant principal, Mr. John Braga, has been the point of contact to all our families in terms of technology issues and needs. And he has done an amazing job making sure that all kids are connected. So that's the part of the technology that took place before school started. Once school began, the first objective for the teachers and for us was to make sure that we identify the students that were not connecting because of other reasons other than just internet, Chromebooks, or devices. One thing that we did during the springtime when we were separated is that I had grade level meetings with the teachers every week. So we implemented that as well in September. And the goal of the grade level meetings is to identify students' concerns, trying to get to the root cause and then identify what supports we can give. I collect that information. I meet with my teachers bi-weekly. And then I pass the information along to my student support team. My counselors, they do initial assessment. And if there are any needs that my counselors, feel like it goes beyond what they can do, and then we refer to our mental health providers. We have a very strong partnership with Riverside Counseling and with the Home for Little Wanderers, and in addition to that, with the Department of Health. So the isolation has not been easy for many of our students, so we are in constant assessment of that and identifying student needs.
Since September, did you see any issues, or did you have to make any changes that you didn't think you would have to when you implemented the curriculum in terms of, and it depends on the age too. Did you see, what's working for kindergartners or first graders wouldn't be working for 7th or 8th graders? Any changes like that?
So, when we think about curriculum, I think everyone's head goes right away to, the subjects, ELA, math, science and social studies. I think something that we did that we thought it was crucial for the school year that we were going to be in remote learning was implementing and incorporating responsive classroom practices. So the summer of 2019, our middle school teachers were trained on responsive classroom, and we implemented that last year. When we saw the when we had the pandemic in the springtime, our school community, our parents, our school improvement council, they believe, we need to continue with this work. We don't know what school is going to look like in August. So we need to have, our teachers need to have the tools to build a strong community, even if it is in the virtual world. So our teachers engage in summer training of responsive classroom practices, and that has been implemented. And I think that has been crucial for us to be able to build communities in the virtual world. In terms of the actual ELA, math, social studies, science curriculum, our instructional coaches in the district, under the supervision of our district coordinator of curriculum, Uri Harao, developed units, standard-based units for ELA and math that were specific to remote learning. They took the content that usually is delivered, but they designed the units that help the teachers deliver the lessons. And we also expanded the program of illustrative math that we have started using in 6th and 7th grade. So we continue with the expansion of that program, the STEM scopes, and the REACH curriculum that is used with our English language learners. We noticed significant gains of English proficiency for our ELLs last year when we implemented the REACH curriculum, so we continue with that as well. So, and in addition to that, Citizen Schools program changed their platform since we're not in person, and they are introducing a new program called the Catalyst. That was another change that we're incorporating, and coming in January, our teachers will engage in professional development with Citizen Schools. And that's a STEM-based program, and it's a project-based, hands-on, specifically built for blended learning. It could be synchronous and asynchronous, and our students will be engaging in that next semester.
Great. Well,
Lots of
we
things
know,
going on.
yeah, we know the beginning of the school year is always tough, even in a regular school year. How did you orient students to the new school year, given that you were going to be totally in a remote phase?
So one of the things that I think I have appreciated a lot over this separation is the work that we have done as school principals. The team of school administrators has joined and unified in a way that had never ever happened before. Our work is so isolated, and we knew we needed to stick together to make this work. So one of the things that we shared in that process, the Kennedy School instructional leadership team developed guidelines and expectations for remote learning. And Mr. Mark Perry shared that with all the principals, and each one of us took that and we adapted it. We presented it to our instructional leadership team, and each school adapted it to the needs of our school. So that was one way in which we established guidelines and expectations for remote learning. Those were then discussed with the teachers, and the teachers engaged in the first weeks of school in discussing the guidelines and the expectations with students. I have tried to continue to be connected with the kids, so I do a morning announcement every Wednesday. In the initial phase of the school year, my morning announcements were more, of support, resilience, reminding students that we're all in this together and that we're going to make it through. And now, I'm using them more to kind of maintain some sense of normalcy and some similarity to the morning announcements of the school year when we're in person.
Nice. I know we touched upon this before, but by age and grade level, have you seen any differences in students adapting to remote learning? Because you hear a lot of things, but everyone's different.
Yep, we have seen differences. Like for our little ones at the beginning, the struggle was much more with, getting to know the platform, learning to navigate the devices, and actually connecting. We saw that, and we still see that there are many students in the lower grades that depend on an adult for them to do that. But once they get on the meetings, they are actively engaged, they're smiling, they're participating, they're enjoying the learning. Now, on the other hand, in the upper grades, our kids are savvy with technology. They have used Chromebooks in the past. They know the technology tools. They know how to navigate them. But I think our kiddos in the upper grades are still struggling with adapting to being, in the remote setting. They have a hard time keeping cameras on. And it's interesting because if I visit the classrooms from pre-K all the way to 8th grade, consecutively, you can see how the cameras on decreases as you go up the grade levels. So that's one thing our middle school kids have struggled with. In the lower grades, you can see a full 100% cameras on, but in the upper grades, it's the complete opposite. They're engaging, they're actively engaging, they use the chat feature, they unmute themselves, but it's been pretty hard for our staff to teach not seeing the kids' faces.
Sure. I understand. I have an 8th grader, and sometimes he doesn't want to put the camera on. But
Yeah.
And the teacher's like, you have to put the camera on. So I think it's kind of universal once you hit that 7th grade age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Do you see any changes in the foreseeable future? Something that, you thought might work back in August and September that's not really working now, because you will be remote for the time being.
Well, the one thing we have been very cautious about is making drastic changes to our schedules, because our parents are depending on those already established schedules to kind of like, daycare, babysitting, and after school programming. So in terms of the structure of our schedule, I think we have a very solid schedule, very rigorous, that I don't see any changes on the schedule itself. What the change that I hope to see very soon is that we're able to get our building ready and open up our building at least for the first few phases of the reopening plan. That will impact us because we have the English language learners in the building. So it would mean that as soon as the building is ready, we should be able to open for our students in the newcomers program, which is K through 4th grade. So I'm hoping for that change in the future.
Sure. And I can vouch for you, for the viewers. I was in there about a month ago and did a little tour of your school, and you were set. I mean, the classrooms are virtually distanced, 6 feet apart, the desks, the hall, everything is set. So you were ready to go. You were one of the few that were, the first to say, hey, we're ready to go.
We're pretty ready. We're just waiting for the ventilation upgrades to be done.
Right. When do you think that would happen? Or you have no timetable yet?
Work has already started.
Gotcha.
So it's just a matter of meeting the deadline.
Right. Are there any after-school programs that are virtual right now?
We do have partnership with Breakthrough Collaborative, which serves students in 6th to 8th grade, and also with Citizen School. So those are happening virtually. But our kids in the lower grades have continued to have outdoor after-school programming in person. So that offering we have kept that going on throughout the semester. And we have some of our teachers have certain clubs, like the debate club. We have one of our teachers doing a book club. Our music teacher is doing the chorus club. So we have tried to keep some of those things as much as we can.
That's great. That's important. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
What message would you like to share with the Argenziano community in this very unusual school year?
So first of all, I would like to send a message to my students. I want them to know that I miss them dearly. I miss seeing them running around. I miss their laughs. I miss their creativity. And I miss their hugs for sure. During a normal time, when I walk from one side of the building to the other, which you have seen how long our halls can be.
Oh yeah.
I get stopped 10 times, and it's always to say hi to a student. I miss that a lot. And I want my students to know that with every decision I make, every task that I do and that I get involved in is with them in mind. Or it's all that I do is for my students. So my students are the reason why I do this work, and I never lose that focus. I'll also like to send a message to my teachers and to say thank you to them, because they are the ones doing the work, and they are providing us students with a sense of normalcy, with a structured schedule, with interesting learning activities, and for managing an unprecedented situation like champions, I have to say. So, and for not giving up. So thank you to my teachers. And to our parents, they have been the strongest partnership we have had in this journey. So for their patience as we try to figure things out, and for the ongoing support, there was no way we could do this without them in this situation. So I ask all of them to stay strong, do not give up. We'll all be stronger after this is over. Enjoy the holiday season, and may the new year bring health, happiness, and peace to every one of their homes.
Absolutely. Do you have anything to add? Because I think that's a perfect way to end.
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Again, we've been in the principal's office with Glenda Soto of the Argenziano School at Lincoln Park. Thank you so much, Principal Soto. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everything. We will talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you for having me, and happy holidays and happy New Year to all of our families.
Thank you.
Awesome.